Alright, how's everyone doing? Welcome along to today's episode where I'm talking with Marcela Tingle about beginner guitar, about the first 3 to 4 lessons a beginner would need to learn to get going on guitar. Marcela, you're very welcome along. Do you want to share a bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Marcella. I'm originally from the Czech Republic, but I have lived in England for 14 years, I believe. Yeah, so here I am
Wow.
with my foreign accent, and I am teaching guitar.
Very good. And what so let's say somebody comes into you for a lesson and it's their first time holding a guitar. What happens in that first lesson?
I even during the first lesson, I like to give the student the hope that they can, after they get home, they can practice playing a song. So, I always give them a list of 8 most used chords, which is
Nice.
5 major chords and 3 minor chords, I believe.
Yeah.
And we always start with chords A and E,
Nice.
because with 2 chords, we can play 2 chord songs. So if it's a child student, then we do row, row, row the boat song. If it's a grown up, then we would do Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. There's a few more 2 chord songs, but I didn't have that much success with those, unfortunately. I think there's a Paperback Writer by Beatles, which
Oh
is just 2
yeah.
chords. And then there's a song that I love by, is it by Jane Addiction or something like that? Forgot the name.
Nice.
But the other songs didn't work that well, mostly because students didn't know them very well, didn't know the lyrics. I show my student how fingering how to play A and E chords. That's usually first lesson. Second lesson, I add D chord, which is always tricky, isn't it? It's
Do
just
you
not.
find a lot of players say to me about the bottom finger on their D chord that it doesn't come out so clear? Is that what happens with yours?
Uh, yes. Well, we don't even get that far, probably. It's just the idea of how to put the fingers on the fretboard. I usually tell them to make a claw, make a claw, and then add your finger number 3 on second string, 3rd fret. Yeah, they do struggle with D a little bit, but usually they go home after second lesson being able to play Happy Birthday. Yeah, but it's very challenging. And I know many teachers would never do this because many teachers believe that the students first need to really be able to play the chords clearly, with clarity, confidently. But I just think that it's, even if they are playing it in a very hesitant way, I think it's always good that they have this vision of a song, that they can work on it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the I use Happy Birthday as well. It's like one of the first songs I do, just because no matter what age they are, they've sang it somewhere. And when it's single strums, it's easy to keep the rhythm with the words.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
Nice. And what
Uh,
let's say the first 2 lessons, what would be the common mistakes beginners make as they learn? Like for example, with the 8 chords there, is there ever any students who look at the 8 and let's say they're super achievers and they go off and learn 3 or 4 extra chords that first week, or
all
has that ever?
right, right, okay. I haven't had such students yet, but yeah, I had a few very quiet students who looked very much like almost grumpy during the lesson, and like I had a feeling that they are completely unimpressed with the lesson. And then they came after 1 week and just they could play those chords absolutely no problem. So
Nice.
Yeah, I like the common mistake with A chord is that they move all the fingers like up one string, everything up, and that's E sus4, isn't it?
Yeah. That's so common. Yeah.
So
I was trying to figure that out. I wonder is it because it's easier to find those strings with your fingers, for placement.
I quite like that mistake because then I tell them, "Oh, it's beautiful chord. It's E sus4, beautiful. Just move everything down a bit, and you'll have A chord." So yeah, that's my
Yeah. I often
favorite
say,
mistake that
oh, big
students
time.
make.
Nice. And so that'll be the first lesson and that, and then you have the second lesson with the E, A, and D. And when it comes to chord changes, do they have problems bringing the D chord into the other two chords?
Most students, they get frustrated with themselves and they say, "Oh, just the chord changes. I just can't do it fast enough." So yeah, so then I give them sometimes something very boring. I don't know. I may have it here. Yeah, I follow also this
Oh yeah.
RGT books because that's
Yep.
what I did. Yeah, I did all grades up to grade 8 with
Nice.
them. And there's yeah, they have these written playing studies just with the chords. So it's like chord progressions basically.
I
So
know it. I know it very well. I taught that loads.
do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I tell them, yeah, do these as a way of practicing the chord changes, but I have a feeling they don't do it much. I think they just a little bit like don't do it for some reason. So yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, I know the book. Sometimes I feel with the book when it's put in front of them, since it's so black and white, and it looks fairly old. I think they updated them since. For some students, they just rather just play and get into it.
Yeah, and this is not for children, is it? The design is just not for kids at all, is it? It just
No, no, no.
yeah,
It's
it's
even
very
even the newer ones are they're quite serious looking. They're nicer. But there's a method book for kids on piano. Hold on, do I have it here? I had it put aside at one stage, but it's all cartoon characters and looks really fun.
all
And
right. Okay.
yeah, but I don't know if there's one for guitar so much.
Oh,
Yeah.
I found few things on the internet. Yeah, like yeah, like these chords. Yeah, there's a like child-friendly version with yeah, like animal character attached to each
Ah,
chord. But
cool.
somehow, yeah, I thought it's a great idea, and then I completely stopped using it, and I don't even know why. Maybe it's a bit too much in it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
some students too, once they have fun with the music, they forget about how it looked to get there. So,
possibly, yeah.
and so the third lesson, then what happens?
Well, I think maybe even during the first lesson or second lesson, I start asking my students, what do you listen to? What songs do you like? So, and about half of students say, "Oh, don't know,"
Yeah,
but but the other half of students they know, yeah. They tell me, "Oh yeah, I like Bad Habits by Ed Sheeran," and then I show them all these major seventh chords that he's got in it and everything.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Nice.
but I have options. I have this folder with I don't know, maybe 30 songs in total.
Okay.
So I ask them I give them I like to give my students options when I ask them which song should we work on. So I would ask them, do you want to learn Somewhere Over the Rainbow? Or do you want to learn House of the Rising Sun by the Animals? Or do you want to learn Yellow Submarine by Beatles? So yeah, and they will pick. They usually light up and say, "Oh yeah, that one, please." Yeah.
Nice. And with the songs, then, when there's so many options, or sorry, the other question I was going to ask before I forget was, is there a difference in performance then between the students who like listening to music and have favorite artists and who know songs they want to learn, and the ones who say, I don't know, I don't listen to songs? Or is there a difference in levels?
Yeah, I would say no, probably. Yeah. Some students are very keen. Yeah, like I said, some students appear very keen, and then they make, I would say, sufficient progress. I mean, almost every student makes some kind of progress. It's quite rare, I found, when when it's not happening. I think when it's not happening, it's usually very young student, like, like a 5, 6, 7-year-old, sometimes even 9-year-old student, where parents don't get involved. I noticed.
That's, yes.
I think if you have like 8-year-old student where parents is slightly involved, especially during the online lessons, and the parent kind of almost practices with the child, and like supervises the child, and then sometimes the progress is so fast that I get all nervous, and I'm like, what will I do in 2 months' time when they are progressing so fast?
Teach them bar chords.
Sorry?
Teach them bar chords.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, but I was talking about something else, wasn't I? Oh, about the songs. Yeah, and quite often they come up with a song that I don't know. So then I have to, at home, I have to Google it, I have to listen to it. And that's something that I like about teaching guitar, that I explore new music.
Nice.
I like modern pop music for kids, I guess. So yeah.
That's good. Yeah, it's great that they pick songs. Like I'd noticed now I teach kids as young as 7 up to adults, and yeah, it's when there's songs there, like if you pick the song yourself, you sometimes have to hope they'll like it. Or at least they'll listen to it, which is tricky sometimes with Spotify. I noticed a lot of my students listen to playlists, and they don't know the names of the songs. But they know they like the playlist. Right. But it's kind of hard being on the outside going, what's
playlist?
In this playlist?
Is it on Spotify or?
Yeah,
playlist?
Yeah. So like, for example, classic rock songs, that could be a playlist. So it could contain 200 songs.
Right.
But they mightn't know the names of the songs.
That's very strange. Gosh. Okay. I don't like many of these students, I have to admit. Yeah.
That's interesting.
That may be the students. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. That may be some of the students who just say, I don't know what I'm listening to, and I don't know what I like. Maybe them.
Yeah, actually,
listen to playlists.
That's probably it, because the ones who said that to me, I've been like, so you listen to no music? And they say, no, I listen to music. And I'm asking, what, where? But that's cool. And so then let's say that's the chords, and you mentioned the grade books as well. Yeah, and it's interesting how you said that you'd notice whether or not they like songs or not, that some students can progress anyways. I've noticed some students are more drawn to the tick the box structure of a grade, even though they mightn't remember their grade piece a month after they take their exam. Versus another student. It's interesting.
Yes. Yeah. I realized that some students are not able to cope with my chaos, basically. Yes. Like you said, some students would say, oh, there's no structure what she's doing. Yeah, so definitely I'm not a teacher for everybody. No.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm the same way. I follow a method and a structure, but I do jump off the pathway. Like if somebody comes in all excited about a song, I go with it, and I'm like, the enthusiasm's there. So Ed Sheeran released Bad Habits, might as well jump on this and teach them some of those major 7 chords now,
Yeah, I do those things, and I kind of, sometimes I teach quite difficult chords to not so advanced students, and then I am like nervous, and I'm thinking, gosh, I hope nobody finds out. I hope nobody finds out that I am like, teaching something from like grade 6 to a student who like, wouldn't probably pass grade 2. So,
The
but
guitar teaching
sometimes
piece.
I do these crazy things. Yeah. Like you said, when they really want to, then I don't think we should tell them, no, don't do it.
Yeah, I agree because it's, at the end of the day, let's say it's 2 years down the line and two students end up with their open chords, their bar chords, rhythms, and how they got there, as long as there's a general path,
Yeah.
I think it's what makes it unique as well, and it's not how would you say, it's not, I think for the teacher as well, teaching guitar, it's nice to have that difference in your methodology. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And then rhythm wise, then how do you go about teaching rhythm to the kids, to
Yeah,
the
well,
students?
it just comes up naturally with the songs, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Because then, then I'm talking to my student, how would you strum to it then? And and do you think it's 3/4 time signature? Is it 4/4? And yeah, I put some theory in my lessons kind of naturally. It just crops up in the lessons. And then I probably ask them like, do you want to learn notes? Oh, not really. Many grown-up students say no.
yeah,
So, but somehow I think I force them somehow anyway. The note values, yeah, somehow it's kind of essential, isn't it? That they
yeah,
realize that, yeah, some notes are longer, some are shorter, and how much longer and how shorter. Yes, the rhythm, yeah, the strumming patterns, very, very, yeah. I think we start that on lesson 1 or 2 maybe, the strumming patterns, because first it just down strums,
yeah,
but then you can't help as a teacher, and you just say, and what about up strums? How would you do up strums? And then on lesson number 3, I say, oh, it's a bit boring, isn't it? It's a bit robot like. Shall we try a little bit like down, down, up, down, down, up? Yeah, and then and so on.
nice. Yeah, the rhythm is a big one. All right, it's I find so many students get fascinated with chords and all about new chords equals progress. And it can be hard sometimes for younger kids to understand, no, we got to learn theory a bit. We got to learn some rhythm patterns, strum patterns.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny. And so that'll be 3 to 4 lessons. And then do you find then after those few lessons, that's when it starts to vary or change from what they're doing? Like now that they have some basics, that now they might learn a few major sevens or something different.
Um, I Most of my students, they still kind of want to be led by the teacher, so I do follow these RGT books.
Yeah,
When it comes to, yeah, learning chords, I do follow it. So even though it doesn't make sense completely, yeah, it just appears to be a little bit random, even though it's supposed to be very methodical.
mm,
It's sometimes I find out that some chords, like in grade, I think it's grade 1 where there's B7 chord, which is not that easy, is it?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I
The
think
pinky.
it's grade 3 with all these suspended chords. And there's chords that I don't even play that much, and I have to like, you know, think about it. Oh, what chord is this, and how does it look like? But I follow it anyway. Yeah, that's where I start following these books a little bit. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I do find that. Yeah, definitely. Or D minor was in the preliminary grade. That's like one of the first ones, and for some kids,
Really?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Yeah,
um,
it's a difficult chord, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, the add nines and the sus fours and the sus twos, um, like C sus four. I can't think of many lessons I've taught C sus four in, apart from for an
Mm,
exam, and then they kind of forget it. Um,
yes,
Now the
exactly.
argument, I suppose, the argument
Yes.
could be brought up. Well, teach students how to put C sus four into their playing, like if they're strumming a C chord and they want to add in the four.
Yes.
But yeah, it is interesting. It's that's the only grade structure I've gone through. I know Trinity have one as well. And there's Rock School that's more electric. But have you heard of the Suzuki method?
I did, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I tried to look into it, but then I gave up somehow, I think. Yeah.
yeah.
I can't
I had a
remember
good.
what it's about, but
Just when you said about the parent being involved, that's a major thing of the method. I talked with the teacher, John, last week, and he's a Suzuki teacher, but he mentioned the involvement of the parent. It's so heavy and integrated into it, and
hmm.
it's like he was saying, even the kids when they become teenagers, they they don't question that their parent is sitting in on their lesson because that's the way it was from the beginning. It's very
All right,
interesting.
okay. It's
Yeah.
kind of nice, but then I'm thinking not every parent has got time to do that. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's a bit tricky, isn't it?
For
Uh,
some it's 30 minutes time off sometimes.
yeah, but then on the other hand, if a parent wants to learn guitar as well, then it's just ideal, isn't it?
Big
That
time.
probably would be ideal if the child and parent, if they learn together. That's something, yeah. That's my idea of ideal lesson.
Yeah,
Child and
yeah.
parent learning together.
I've
Yeah.
seen it at some concerts, some student concerts I've done where the parent has come up, and it's really nice to see. It's and especially when they're at the age where
Oh,
it's such a cool thing for them to be playing with their mom or with their dad. Sometimes the teenagers that disappears, but
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have, few teenager students, and the parent needs to go upstairs during every lesson. Otherwise, the student is just not happy.
fair enough. But Marcella, listen, thanks so much. That's great. So like that's a lovely framework. Because the thing is with online nowadays, like for example, a classic example is there's a YouTube channel that has learn to play guitar in 10 days, and a lot of the comments underneath it are, "I can't do this," or "I'm having problems," and for the same structure mightn't suit everybody, and just for viewers to hear of an approach that they could try on with the open chords and with the rhythm, and know that it's okay to learn a few major seven chords in the beginning stages. I think that's really cool. So thanks for taking the time today.
Thank you as well. Are you Irish or are you Australian?
Irish.
Irish, okay, yeah. I'm not that great with accents, but I thought for a bit like, he's
Yeah.
Australian.
Yeah, no.
No, no,
On
Irish.
the visit list. But the and then one last question. Just I've asked every teacher this. What would be the number one piece of advice you'd have for beginner guitar players learning guitar nowadays?
Ooh, well, it will be a little bit boring advice. Practice, at least practice 5 times per week, even if you practice for 5 minutes. Yeah, just take it out of the case or bag, and yeah, just every day practice a little bit. Yeah,
Nice, great,
very
lovely.
boring advice,
Hey,
but
it works. It
it's
works.
essential.
Yeah, easy to do, easy
Otherwise,
not to do.
nothing will happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree. I agree. Marcella, thanks so much for coming on. So what I'll do is I'll stop the recording here. And by the way, where can people find out more about you? I'll share your link below.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you will share this kind of on YouTube. You have a YouTube channel then, do you?
Yeah, do
You
indeed.
must have. Okay. Well,
So,
I do as well.
oh, great. Sure. What's the name of your channel?
I think Marcela Tingle, I think. Or
Brilliant. Well,
not?
I'll link it
I'll
underneath
send
it.
you. Yeah, I'll have a look. Yeah, that's not much. That's mainly, yeah. A lot of nursery rhymes. I'm a bit of a nursery rhyme specialist.
I like it. Good. Brilliant. I know
I
I'll
go
be
to
going to
local
learn.
library. I go to local library and yeah, and how and play guitar for toddler sessions. They call it rattle and rhyme. I think it's called.
Ah,
Yeah,
cool.
when lots of toddlers come, or even up to 5-year-old. I think they come. Yeah,
Nice, nice.
and I play
Brilliant.
guitar and and they sing and yeah.
Great. Well,
Yeah, that
that
is.
sounds
Yeah,
so
that is
cool.
lovely. Yeah, that is lovely to see. Yeah, little kids
Nice.
enjoying music.
Brilliant. Well, I'll share all that below this. Marcella, thanks so much for coming on today, and we'll chat again soon, hopefully.
Oh, okie dokie. Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye.